fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. Now we don't have a pick of the week, but we do have a gorgeous Fast Five because just all the art in these picks is just magnificent, and that's why I kind of picked them. So first up, let's get on to X-Men Schism number 3. It's written by Jason Aaron and art by Daniel Acuna, which is the highlight of this entire issue for me. I mean, so far 3 issues have come out, and this is by far my favorite because of Daniel Acuna's art. I've been a huge fan of his art. I think it goes very well, especially when it comes to the X-Men. And we have this whole attack going on by the Hellfire Club on the museum, and they take down Emma Frost, Magneto, Colossus, Namor. All these people are like, oh, the heavy hitters. They're just bam, down, thanks to their little kitties, as the little Hellfire girl calls them, but they're some sort of psychic worms. I thought they were Predator X's before, or, you know, the Predator creatures that hunt the X-Men mutants, whatever. But apparently it's not, but they renders them, you know, unconscious. Just before the Hellfire Club can kidnap them, though, Idy, who is one of the newer members of the X-Men team, steps in to deal some serious damage before Wolverine and Cyclops can both get there. But while they do get there, they're evacuated, the bodies are, before the museum blows up. But it's not just any normal bomb, it's a magnetic field bomb where it's putting together its own Sentinel. So these Hellfire kids know what they're doing, they know they're kicking ass, and now they're going to kick even more ass next issue because they have a huge fucking Sentinel just coming alive out of all the metal surrounding it. Love the art. You should buy it for the art alone if you're not an X-Men fan, and it's just a damn good time, that's for sure. Next up, from Marvel, we have Avengers Academy number 18. Now we have the Absorbing Man and Titania running amok in the Infinite Avengers mansion, and only the Avengers Academy team is there to try to hold down the fort, try to stop two, you know, godlike beings, servants to the Serpent, from running amok and kicking ass. And all these two care about is destroying shit with their huge hammers, kissing, and just various public displays of affection, which I do not condone. And then just their fury against Hank Pym. Well, Pym's not there, so the kids have to try to take on them themselves. Vale even tries to absorb Titania like she did with Korvac a couple of issues ago, but that doesn't work. So it's up to Hazmat, Finesse, and Stryker to just come together and be the badasses that they are in order to try and save the Infinite Mansion. Well, they get them with a very clever hologram trick outside of the Avengers Mansion, and they thought they would just, you know, just fly off into oblivion. But instead, they found the Pym particles that were activated, and now they're absorbing that, and now the whole mansion is blowing up, and it's going to maybe crush the microverse. So now they're from out of the fire pan into the fire. I like this tie-in so far from the Fear Itself event because you still got the, you know, the hammers and the beings, but they're more interesting than just, you know, Juggernaut Smash, and happen to coincide in 15 different Fear Itself tie-in books, everyone versus the same character of the Juggernaut. I'm sorry, that's a whole different discussion for a Geeky Talkie episode, I have a feeling for. Next up from Vertigo, we have Fables 108. Now you get a little of this and you get a little of that in this issue, but the thing that really caught my eye was not only Mark Buckingham's, as usual, gorgeous art, but the colorist, Lee Loughridge. She did a fantastic job with the colors. It really just popped out at you this issue. Like, I don't know why I'm noticing it much more in this issue than I have in previous issues, but I was very impressed by the coloring. I thought it was a damn good job, that's for sure. But basically, we have Rose Red checking in to the farm to see if there's any Mr. Dark's presence left. Then Mr. North's little imps are explaining to Bigby and his whole clan, his family, why it has to be a blood relative of Mr. North to take over as the North Wind, because any of the other winds, those guys are dicks, jackasses. It's just going to be, you know, they'll put a puppet dictator in Mr. North's place, and he doesn't deserve that. And Ambrose, one of the children, realizes that the prophecy that the witch told her a while ago is finally coming true. Like, the first child will become king. So that's going to be going on. The second child's going to be doing this, that. We haven't gotten there yet, but it's explaining a lot more of who is going to be the king of the future North Wind, who we think is. And then Buffkin is also taking his quote-unquote prisoners through the land of Oz. It's cool to see him back in his homelands, and he's acting like a badass. He's taking charge of this situation, and that's kind of weird seeing this Buffkin. But yes, art is great, Fables is great, covered by Wow Rouse is great as well. You know what's not great? Me butchering his name, I'm sure I just did. Next up, we have Daredevil number 2. Now, number 1 would have been my pick of the week, although it was many weeks ago when it came out, but that was during Comic-Con International, and I had no chance to really do a review show because I was kind of busy. But we got Paulo Rivera doing some gorgeous Daredevil art. We have Matt Murdock versus Captain America. They're, you know, Cap's still kind of pissed that, you know, oh look, it's that guy Daredevil. That whole event that starred him. That I'm not really Shadowland. That's what it was. I kind of try to forget it. But anyway, he wants him to answer those crimes. Matt says, no, I'm different now. I mean, you know, and they even have a little exchange of weapons at one point. Like, Daredevil has the shield, and Cap has his little jump rope, I guess. But they go their separate ways, and now we go back to the Jabroni case, where this one taxi cab driver who was beaten by the cops, and no one wants to take this case for whatever reason. There's a voice that's threatening them not to take the case to make sure that this Jabroni guy doesn't win, because he has a very winning case. And he said that if he ever did win the case, he would buy back his old electronics store. Well, Matt goes to investigate the electronics store, and sure enough, these maybe phantom voice threats are coming from this source, and we see a couple of ghosts of a claw, and we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. They're not even complete claws. They're just like, they're spectral claws. But they seem to really fuck up Matt's, you know, inner ear and hearing thing, because he can't see them, but just the whole sound vibrations they're giving off is enough to knock him unconscious, and he can't do anything. But Paulo Rivero's art is just goddamn beautiful in this. He should be getting Eisners left and right. Why he is not, I don't know. But this series alone should put him in the running next year for next year's Eisners, because I loved it so much. And Mark Waid is making Daredevil fun again. Fun with a capital P-H-U-N. Fun. And that's what Daredevil really needs. Enough of this dark and brooding bullshit. He's not Batman anymore. Let him fight crime in the daytime like he did in issue #1 and really bring back the faithful, the man without fear. And finally this week for Marvel, we have Hulk #39. Now, I like this comic a lot because, A, it's Gabriel Hardman's gorgeous, beyond gorgeous art, and B, you get a little bit of a slice of life of General Thunderbolt Ross growing up. You got to see him as a kid playing with his friends, watching an airplane crash and burn, and one of his kids' fathers in the cockpit, and oh, they got to witness that. But besides that, we see Red Hulk on the run as usual from Fortean, and he goes back to his old farmhouse, and he's checking out all the old memories. And he sees in the hangar this old plane he used to go and then fly, and then Egads is actually there too, and then they start fighting. He hits him into the next county. Yeah, Egads takes him as a tractor beam as they're still fighting. They're just really duking it out, and then at the end we have Black Fog come from behind and shank Egads right in the back there, so we don't know if he's a friend or a foe at this point, but just the battle sequences by Hardman are just mind-blowing. They are just things of beauty. And I'm not going to lie, when different artists were bouncing around on the book for the past couple of issues, I kind of didn't really, I kind of skimmed through. So while I'm not 100% sure what's going on story-wise, I'm right back in the loop for this arc and beyond, because it's Gabriel Hardman on art. That's all you need to sell me on. Jeff Parker's great story, Hardman's beautiful, beyond gorgeous art. I'm a happy camper. I can just give up this whole podcasting thing because he makes me that happy. Well, comic book fans, that does it for Cammy's Comic Corner. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, I don't know where to go because I threw my cards away. Or you can check out Cammy'sComicCorner.com. Every Wednesday you get the Geeky Talkie. Every Friday you get my favorite covers that came out that week. And every Sunday you get the weekly video review show for actually one more episode. And then at the start of the month you get the book of the month, and at the end of the month you get the top shelf selection. And not to worry if you're like, what? No more video shows? I'll have a whole video show explaining it to the people who don't get to this part of the show because they're like, okay, review's over. Click, hey, I wonder what's on Cartoon Network. So, not to worry, you're still going to get weekly reviews, just not in a video show format. And again, that video explaining the whole situation very delicately will be up later. So that does it for Cammy's Comic Corner. I have been your host, Cammy. Go check out Geeky Talkie. Go follow me on Twitter and be my friend on Facebook. Cammy's Comic Corner has its own Facebook page, and not enough people are liking it. And that makes me unlike, but that button hasn't been invented yet. So this has been Cammy's Comic Corner. I have been your host, Cammy. I'm going to go buy us some coffee now.